Hello, Julie from Technique Tuesday here, and today I'm working on envelope art using the Joyous Juniper Stamp Set. I stamped the image on the envelope using waterproof ink, and I'm going to put a piece of chipboard in the envelope to make sure that nothing bleeds through to the other side of the envelope. I got this piece from an old pad of list paper, but chipboard like this comes in all kinds of random packaging. So I've got my water pen, my palette block, a piece of paper towel, and distress inks for the first half of this project. I'll smush my inks onto the palette, some iced spruce and some starry sky. I'm just going to go over the image with some fairly flat color. This is just to provide sort of a background to the pencils, which I'll do in the next step. The color coverage just sort of comes out smoother with a flat color background under the pencils. On this paper, the water wash is going to soak into the paper really quickly, so I have to do it in small batches. And I'll keep going on those until I get all the green into the needles. On the berries, I do pretty much the same thing and go one berry at a time. Wash and color, wash and color. Next, I'll move on to the pencils. I don't really need this in the way anymore, so I'll move it up here. I'll start on the brown and green for the stems and needles. Some light umber will go in first, and I'm putting it pretty lightly on the stems only. Because the spaces here are so confined, I'm not doing the little circles I normally would. Once I'm done with that, I'll go into the needles with my lightest green color, true green, which also happens to be sort of blue tinted green. I'm just going to go into the ends of the needles with this because I don't want to layer too much color on at once. Because this paper doesn't have a lot of tooth, it's not very rough, it's possible that at some point the color won't really layer on anymore. After the true green goes in, I'll go in again with the warmer apple green and add it along the base of the needles. Next is olive green, which is going to go on the stems over the brown as well as the very base of each needle to provide a little shadow. I'll go back and forth with these colors until I have something I really like. Then I'll start in on the blues with the lighter blue, which is peacock blue, and I'm going to go over the berries with the light circles. Next will be the ultramarine blue, and that's going to start the shadow areas. And now a bit of violet to make those shadows really nice and rich. I'll keep it pretty well confined to those shadowy areas. Once I've got it in, I'll go back with the peacock blue and go in pretty thick with it over the lighter areas. It's for just about the right color for the sort of smoky blue that I want for my berries, so it's going to sort of take over. Now I'll go in with the white over that layer of peacock blue and sort of smooth it out and lighten it up. A little more ultramarine will go into the shadows to blend it together a little bit more, and then I'm going to go in with the colorless splendor. I try to move from dark to light when I'm using the blender so that if I have color build up on the end of the pencil, I don't get an accidental blob of dark color in the light area. It's easier to blend a lighter color into the shadows than it is to deal with dark in the light. You can also just wipe the color off of the blender between berries if you want. Just rub it on the paper towel. Last, I'll add a bit more white as a highlight or shine, that little ting. This will require a bit more pressure because I've built so much color up on this area already. And I'll do all the berries like that and end up with something like this. I've added a label here with my friends' names and, well, a freight address, and I could do other stamping and coloring around the edges if I wanted. The thing I loved about using the juniper for this was the fact that when I stamped it into the pointed envelope flap, it fit pretty perfectly. I love that on the back flap you see this beautiful image, but on the front you just get a hint of the image while the space for the stamp is still free. You add your return address here on the front or on the back somewhere. And here you go, my final piece. I hope you enjoyed watching and that you learned something you can use on your next project. Have a great day.